Hello and welcome to the Playworms. Today we shall be looking at the movie called Spider-Man No Way Home. The movie starts with the revelation that Jonah Jameson of the Daily Bugle has exposed the real identity of Peter Parker as Spider-Man. Spider-Man is distraught by the news. As civilians start surrounding his girlfriend Michelle, Spider-Man grabs her and they flee. After swinging through the city, they arrive in Spider-Man's apartment and hide. As they are catching up with Spider-Man's Aunt May and Happy Hogan, the United States Department of Damage Control arrests them all for interrogation. Ned is also arrested and interrogated. Spider-Man hires Matt Murdock, who successfully gets the criminal charges dropped. Due to the controversy, Peter and his friends Michelle and Led are rejected by all colleges. Their final hope is in MIT, their dream college, which similarly rejects them. Peter visits Dr. Strange and asks him to cast a spell so that everyone can forget the Spider-Man identity. This way, the college admission will forget who is Spider-Man and his friends will get accepted to MIT. Dr. Strange starts casting the spell. Peter starts interrupting Dr. Strange as he wants a few people to still remember he is Spider-Man. His continued request for the spell to be altered leads the spell to become unstable. Luckily, Dr. Strange is able to contain it. Dr. Strange kicks Peter out. Peter tracks an MIT administrator at the Alexander Hamilton Bridge. He appeals to her for his friends to be accepted into MIT since they did no wrong. Just then, Parker is ambushed by Dr. Octopus. After engaging in a heated fight, Peter Parker reveals his face. Dr. Octopus is shocked since this is not the Peter Parker he knows. Peter is able to hack into Dr. Octopus and take control of his tentacles. He saves the MIT administrator, who promises that she will help him and his friends get admitted to MIT. While still on the bridge, Green Goblin arrives. Before he can attack Spider-Man, both Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus are transported into Dr. Strange's sanctum. Dr. Strange explains that due to the earlier interruptions to the spell, all those who know Spider-Man's identity are being pulled into this reality. This includes aliens from parallel realities within the multiverse. Dr. Strange recruits Peter to capture these dangerous beings. He upgrades Peter's suit to enable him to magically send the beings directly to the sanctum. Peter is allowed to use the assistance of his girlfriend Michelle and his friend Ned. Peter-Man locates Electro, who is consuming electric power from the grid. They engage in fighting and Electro gains an upper hand. Fortunately, Sandman intervenes and saves Peter Parker. They collaborate and cut the power lines. After they defeat Electro, Peter magically sends him to the sanctum. When Sandman becomes confrontational, thinking Peter killed Electro, Peter sends him to the sanctum too. Peter locates Norman Osborn with his Aunt May. May says that Osborn needs help and Peter should help him. Back at the sanctum, Dr. Strange wants to use the Machina to reverse the spell. However, Peter is against this since all the men will die if they return to their world in their current forms. Peter, who wants to cure the men before sending them back, steals the Machina. Strange gives chase and they engage in a battle outside. Dr. Strange then sends Peter to the mirror dimension where the fight continues. As they fight, Peter realizes that the mirror dimension is just geometry. He entangles Dr. Strange in a web matrix and returns to the earthly plane. Peter takes the men to Hogan's condominium. After preparing some cures using Stark Industries' fabricator, he administers the first one to Dr. Octopus. After Peter replaces the inhibitor chip, Dr. Octopus restores his higher brain function. Before Osborn could be treated, the Green Goblin takes over his body. He persuades Electro to remove his cure, which is an energy siphon extracting his powers. A fight ensues with the Green Goblin trying to kill Peter. The fight between Peter and Green Goblin continues and they are soon on the ground. Aunt May injects an antidote into Green Goblin, but it does not work. He strikes May and then explodes 2 pumpkin bombs. Aunt May is badly hurt and she dies as Peter watches. In her last words, she tells Peter not to give up since with great power comes great responsibility. Peter had left the Machina with Michelle and told her to activate it if things go wrong. While she is preparing to activate it, Ned manages to open a portal. He uses the portal to find Peter, and they see him on the other side of the portal. However, they realize this is not their Peter, rather he is a Spider-Man from another universe. Ned summons again, but yet another alternate Peter Parker appears from another universe. Together, the group goes to look for Peter, who they find on top of Midtown. He is grief-stricken, and they try to console him. The other 2 Peters shares their stories and personal experiences of loss that help Peter realize he is not alone. They share that one of Peter was unable to protect his uncle, and the other one was unable to protect his uncle, and the other one was unable to protect his girlfriend. They all go to a laboratory and start working together to find a cure. They then broadcast through the Daily Bugle so that they can lure the dangerous beings. When the beings arrive, they attack the 3 Spider-Men. The 3 coordinate using their spider senses and take one enemy at a time. They start with Sandman and they swiftly pass the device to each other and successfully cure him. Electro's power has increased too much and he overpowers the 3 Peters. As the battle continues, Octavius arrives and helps them. He takes the arc reactor from Electro and then uses the neutralizer to render him powerless. One of the Peters engages with the lizard and forces him to break the bottle containing his antidote, thereby healing him. Ned accidentally activates a portal that summons Doctor Strange to the battlefield. He helps them with the battle as they struggle to get the Machina back from the Green Goblin. However, he had already snuck a pumpkin bomb inside. The Machina detonates and the unstable spell is released, thus opening this universe to the multiverse. The blast also makes Michelle the fall from the Statue of Liberty. As Peter dives to save her, he is knocked by the Green Goblin. However, one of the alternate Peters comes to the rescue and saves her, which reminds him of how her girlfriend died. Peter gains an upper hand and viciously beats the Green Goblin. This time he does not hold back his punches and he easily defeats him. He is about to kill him with his glider to revenge her Aunt May's death, but one of the alternate Peters stop him. The other Peter then provides him with the anti-serum and he uses it to cure Green Goblin, who is left shocked at the chaos he has created. At the same time, Doctor Strange struggles to hold the rifts together as intruders prepare to evade. Peter asks Doctor Strange to cast another spell under which everybody, including his friends, will forget who he is. That way, even those trying to evade will stop as no one will remember who is Peter Parker. This works and the rifts are repaired. Doctor Strange transports the alternate Spider-Man and other beings back to their original universes. As the spell is finally unleashed, everybody in the world forgets Peter's existence. It is now a few weeks later during the holidays. Peter visits the coffee shop where Michelle works. Michelle and Ned were fortunately able to get admission to MIT. However, neither Michelle nor Ted knows who Peter is since the spell made everyone forget who is Peter Parker. Peter moves to a new apartment to start his new life. He stitches a simpler suit and resumes fighting crime. This shows that he is ready to continue honoring her aunt's mantra of community service and responsibility. Well, here ends our today's recap. Consider sharing the video and subscribing to our channel to support our work.